Amazon often owes money to sellers without them even knowing about it. It can happen for different reasons: problems with FBA inbound shipments, lost or damaged units, customer refunds, FBA removal orders, or incorrect fees. In this video, you will learn how to claim back money from Amazon for these 5 mentioned reasons inside Amazon Seller Central without using any tools. And if you want to have help with that, check out Getida service in the link below in the description, and they can also offer you $400 of free reimbursements.
Hi, Lisa and Yoni. Thank you for joining me here on Orange Click YouTube channel to talk about Amazon reimbursements. And actually today you will share a guide for the sellers that will help them to manage and take care of everything regarding reimbursement. So before we go into the details, could you first introduce yourself and also let us know how Getida usually helps Amazon sellers?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Lisa KINSKEY. I am the Marketing and Partnerships Manager at Getida.
And I'm Yoni Mazur. I'm the Chief Growth Officer of Getida and one of the co-founders.
And Getida essentially is helping Amazon FBA sellers to get the most back in their reimbursements to help them maximize the profits of their business and minimize the costs that are associated with running an FBA store, I guess I should say.
Okay, so I think reimbursement is something that many years ago, sellers even didn't know that they can ask money back from the Amazon seller. So I think you have now done a great job over the past years to educate Amazon sellers that there is actually an opportunity to ask money back, and there are actually real reasons to do so. So I'm really happy that today you put together a short guide for the Amazon sellers. So yeah, Lisa, you can go ahead, share your screen. And
I do want to touch on that for one moment. So
yeah.
If you're watching this, it's probably what's going to happen is half of you guys watching this never heard of it. So welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of FBA auditing and reimbursements. And the other half is like, you heard about it, you know something about it, you actually do something about it. That's great. Keep doing it. Hopefully with this guide, you're going to understand more about the main elements of it and be able to take actions on these elements and really get impact for your business. So let's get started. Lisa, take us home.
Perfect. So like we just said, this is going to be an all-encompassing guide to kind of the five main points of Amazon reimbursements and auditing that sellers need to pay attention to. So we're calling it a guide to reimbursements. Like we said before, my name is Lisa and I'm joined by Yoni Mazur. And real quick, I know we touched on it a second ago, but we want to cover again, what is Getida? So I'm going to steal your line here, Yoni. Is it Getida? Is it Getida? It doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's actually an acronym for Get Intelligent Data Analytics. So it's through these analytics that we're helping sellers to get the most back in FBA reimbursements. We're actually the global leader in auditing and reimbursements with the highest success rate in the industry. We have an award-winning dashboard. We actually got the Gold Stevie Award from the American Business Awards back in 2020 for our dashboard. And we also made the Inc. 5000 list this past year, number 215 on the whole list, which is very exciting. We have a dedicated team of claims specialists that are helping our sellers to get the most back. They actually used to work on the Amazon claims and auditing teams within Amazon, like I said, so they're ex-Amazonians, so they know how to ask questions, talk the talk, walk the walk, etc., which goes back to our highest recovery rate, like I mentioned before. And on top of doing all these great presentations and live streams, we participate a lot with Orange Click. We also host a lot of in-person events. So if you guys are wondering where in the world is Yoni or where in the world is the Money Man, you can go to getida.com/events and see what we've got going on. Or Lisa. If you guys want to meet any of our team, we're actually expanding our reach more globally as well, which is very exciting. You can check out getida.com/events to see where we will be next. And what we didn't mention up top is actually we're a very affordable solution for sellers. So we operate on a pay per recovery service, meaning there's no sign-on fee, membership fee, anything like that. You guys are free to come and go as you please, though most usually come and they stay. But it's a very affordable, cost-effective solution for sellers to get more money back into their business. In addition to hosting those events, we also have 2 podcasts. We have Prime Talk, which is more about the people, and Sellernomics, which is more about the solution, so the P's and the S. So you can find both of those on all of your favorite podcasting platforms and, of course, YouTube and the Getida social channels. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it, you guys. Like I said before, we're going to focus on 5 main recovery types for FBA. So those are going to be your FBA inbound shipments, lost and damaged units, customer refunds or returns, the removal orders, and weights and dimensions. And you'll notice here we have a timeline for each of these. There's a certain amount of time. Yes, Amazon does give you 18 months for most of the claims types, which you can see here, but there are some that have shorter timelines in which you guys need to file the claims with Amazon to get your money back. So let's take a look. For the FBA inbound shipments, if you're talking about the EU or UK markets, you have 6 months to file these claims. In the US, it is 9 months. So we get a little more leeway over here for the US stores. For lost, damaged, returns, and removal orders, that's 18, but pay close attention for weights and dimensions. It's a short 3 months time frame. So you want to pay close attention to those so that you don't miss out on this money that's on the table, because it's your money. Like we said before, a lot of sellers didn't know that they were able to get this back. We're helping you kind of re-inject that juice into your organization. So starting with FBA inbound shipments, we're going to walk you guys through how to find these reports and then what to do about them. All right. And so starting off with our FBA inbound shipments, how to reconcile those, all roads lead back to Seller Central. So the first thing you want to do is log into your Amazon Seller Central, hover over this inventory tab and select the manage FBA shipments. Next, you guys are going to scroll down and look through your shipping queue. So a couple key things to pay attention to here. One of them is going to be the units expected against the units received, but also the status. If you have a discrepancy between numbers like we have here, 30 and 0 of expected and received, but it's in transit, that's okay. They're still working on it. If it's still in the process of receiving, that's all good. What we want to pay attention to is if you see a discrepancy and it says closed. So you see here, boom, attention needed. You'll scroll through all of your shipments and find, okay, wait a second. They said this is closed out. There's a ton of inventory missing here. Obviously, something needs to be done.
Okay, so in this area here, once you log in and enter the shipment, you're going to start with this area number 1 here. You'll see that on the right side, it says 216 minus 216. And you see that there's a drop down menu. Okay, so in this drop down menu, what you want to choose is research missing units. That's kind of the first thing you do. Okay, so you choose that option. And then the second thing you do is hover around that number 2 area, right? Over there, they're going to ask you to upload a file, and that file will be POD, proof of delivery. Amazon wants proof that you actually delivered the product to their fulfillment centers. And the third thing is POP, proof of purchase, or proof of owner inventory ownership, that area. So you're gonna have to upload POP over there. So if this sounds like, whoa, what the hell is this? What are all these acronyms? What is this, Chinese? Is this English? What's going on? So let's move on to the next slide and get some clarity here. Okay, let's talk about POD or POP. Sounds like a rap song, right? POPP, POPD. Anyway, so on the left side, POD, pretty straightforward. Just we'll talk a little bit more about it. But also, guys, that see that yellow area over there, you can always scan that area and learn more about it and dive into the details within Amazon Seller Central. But proof of delivery, I'll just make it simple. Typically, what it is, it's a bill of lading, which is a document. It's called big bill of lading, that it has a stamp or a stamp of, when it gets delivered to Amazon. So if you're shipping with carriers, make sure that they pick up the bill of lading from you, that piece of paper. And when they deliver it to Amazon fulfillment centers, they get it signed over there. So wherever carrier you're working with, make sure that they're really efficient about that and do it, because to reconcile the shipment, Amazon might ask you, not necessarily, but they might ask you. And if they ask you, you should have it available. Okay, now let's hover over to the POP. Okay, that area. So proof of purchase. So here, immediately the sellers, when they think about POP or proof of purchase, they think about an invoice. And that's correct. You can always provide an invoice, not a problem. But I want everybody here to keep in mind that if you are a private label seller with brand registry, you do not have to provide an invoice. You don't have to disclose your suppliers. Instead, Amazon is allowing you to provide a packing slip. Okay, and a packing slip is a simple document where it says your company information, where you shipped, shipment information, that you really shipped it out, and you sign off on it. And if you send it to them, you're good to go. If all this stuff is too complicated, too confusing, you don't know where to start, there are solutions out there that help with this. Getida, we happen to be one of them. We have a platform, a dashboard. You can log in. It's free. Just sign up to Getida free. It's and there's a module called Inbound Shipments. You log in there. It's gonna show you in real time free data about all these shipments that need all these documents. So this way, it organizes the workflow. So it saves you a tremendous amount of time. So instead of going to Seller Central, opening up every shipment, try to figure out what's going on, you go to the platform. It's right there for you. Boom, all that magic, all that data. But now we're just teaching you how to do it. So keep that in mind. So you can stand between right or left. That's the idea here. So let's keep moving to the right. So guys, now that we took care of all the shipments, and shipments is just to get the products into Amazon's fulfillment centers. But once your products and inventory are inside Amazon's fulfillment centers, that's when things can get lost or damaged, right? And here Amazon is giving you a window of up to 18 months to look back and find all the units that got lost or damaged. And so if you see a claim window, see that, let's hover over that area, claim window. There we go. Over there, it tells you got 18 months to do it. Great. And then they tell you before you submit a claim, don't just open cases for no reason. Before you submit a claim or a case, here's the 3 reports we want you to download and scrutinize. And if you see that there's still an issue, then you can submit your claim. Okay, so now I'm just going to touch on the logic. I'm going to touch on the logic of how all this analytics or auditing works. But I assume that you are really good with Excel, because to really perform well at this, you have to be really good with Excel. So let's touch the 3 reports and the 3 databases that you have to touch, and you have to operate with Excel. And I'll explain the logic, because if you understand the logic, everything else will work. So let's touch on the first report. Hover over the check your inventory adjustment report area. Okay, so you go into Sell Essential and you grab that report, inventory adjustment report. In this report, you filter all the data and you hone in and keep only the transactions of the units that got lost. Okay, so in this first report, you find the units that got lost. Great. The second report, called Manage FBA Inventory Report, you download that report. Once again, every time you download the report, it's for the past 18 months. Keep that in mind. And this report, you got to see if it got found. Right, so if they're in the first report, the unit got lost, and then the second report, the unit got found, you do not file a claim. But if in the first report, the unit got lost, and the second report, it never got found, then you check in the third report, the reimbursement report. You got to see if it already got automatically reimbursed for whatever reason. Okay, and if it got reimbursed, you stop, you do not submit a claim. All right, but now if a unit got lost in the first report, in the second report, the unit never got found, and in the third report, the unit never got reimbursed, now you can submit a claim. And that's the filtering process or the auditing process or analytics process, whatever you want to call it, to submit or to reconcile your FBA loss and damage units in the past 18 months. So this is the logic. This is the data that you need to play with. And hopefully you guys understood. So let's take on to the next page. But dearly beloved, if this is too much, too complicated, another way to do it is just grab the inventory adjustment reports. And in that report, find all the transactions that got either lost or damaged. Okay, so then Amazon has this tool. Just scan the orange area here, the QR code. It will take you to this area. You just copy paste it into this tool and see if you can submit a claim or not. So Amazon does give you the tool, but you have to kind of go one by one, which can take more time. As opposed to doing it with Excel, we can do it in bulk. Same thing when you do a listing. You can do a listing manually. You upload here, you have or you upload a lot of listings in an Excel file, a flat file basically, and boom, you got it in one shot. That's kind of the main difference here between this option and that option. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Okay, so now we're heading over to kind of the third element of reconciling all FBA refunds and returns. So once again, you send your products to Amazon. The receiving is an issue. We touched it. Units that get lost or damaged in the warehouse, we touched it. But now we're talking about basically when a customer buys your product, and then for whatever reason they reach out to Amazon, they get a refund immediately, right? I bought something for $20 from Lisa, and she's a seller. All right, this phone cover, and then I call Amazon, hey, I want a refund. Okay, they give you the refund of $20. Now I have to send it back. Now for whatever reason, I never sent it back. I forgot, or I did send it back, but the carrier, if it's UPS or FedEx, they lost it, right? And the unit basically got refunded, but it never got returned or restocked into my FBA inventory. This is the problem. So once again, so you're out of your money and you're out of your product. So this is the problem that we're going to try to teach you how to basically find out about it if you had that issue. And if, of course, if you have that issue, then you can take action. So let's focus on the first report that you need to download in order to do so. So payment report, that red area over there, right? You visit Sell Essential, you go to reports, payments, date, range reports, click on generate report, choose transaction option, custom, past 18 months. You're grabbing all the data of all these payments in the past 18 months. Great. The second report, FBA customer returns report. Okay, you visit Sell Essential, you go to reports, fulfillment, FBA customer returns. I know this is boring. We're gonna have snapshots and screenshots very soon for you guys, so you'll be able to just click the buttons. Okay, keep that in mind. But now we have 2 types of reports, and we're gonna compare between FBA order ID refunds to FBA returns. In other words, we're gonna find all the orders that got refunded, right? And then the other report, we see all the FBA returns. So if you see that something got refunded and it got returned, great, you're doing great. But something got refunded and never got returned to your inventory stock, ooh, you have an issue, right? Think about it, because they took your money and never got your inventory back and never got returned. But here's the catch. You got to give Amazon 45 days, a window of 45 days before you open a case. Because Amazon, within 45 days, if they really never got the item back, their system is supposed to refund you automatically. And typically it does. But if it doesn't, which could happen, you have to be on the lookout for that. Okay, so you do all this auditing. You take all the data from the past 18 months. You find that all the orders that got refunded, all the orders actually got returned. And any issue of that it's over 45 days since it got refunded, you open a case. Okay, this is the logic. Now let's go over to see the buttons on Sell Essential. Go, let's take them for the tour. You go visit Sell Essential, right on the left side area. Yep. And then you go to reports, payments, and inside you go over there to generate reports. And then the next slide is, it pops up this window and you choose transactions. Okay, and then the custom, you see the custom over there is about 18 months, right? So you do from January 1st all the way to July of the next year. That's about 18 months. You can click generate. Okay, that's the first report, the payments report, all the orders that got refunded, money was taken away from you, right? And in this report, it's the FBA customer returns report. That's when Amazon is reporting you, or the fulfillment centers are reporting to you. Yes, we got these units back from all these orders, right? So you visit Sell Essential, and then you go to reports, and then fulfillment, and then you'll see, yep, on the left-hand side, you see it says customer concessions, FBA customer returns. You click on that, and then you make sure once again to match it to the first report. So you go to the past 18 months. Remember, we had January 1st to 2021, and then we had all the way to July 1st, 2022. That's about 18 months. It matches exactly the other report. All right, so you choose that, and then you click on download, and then click the next. Good. That's how you grab the reports. So we showed you in the snapshots on Sell Essential, so you can actually do the work and grab the reports. Once again, all the stuff that I'm explaining, I'm assuming that you're really good with Excel. And if you're not, just reach out to providers out there. We're happy to help you as well. If you want us, that's fine. Okay. FBA removal order reconciliation. Okay, so here's a few examples where things can go wrong with your removal orders. And if that happens, you're probably eligible to get reimbursements or refund from Amazon. So here's the first option. Quantity of units removed is lower than expected. Okay, so in other words, you ordered Amazon to remove 100 units, but you received everything and you only received 99 units. This is kind of the reverse. You know how you ship to Amazon and they're missing units when they receive it? This is the opposite. This is when they send you back the products and the inventory, and all of a sudden you see it's short. In both cases, they need to take responsibility, okay? All right, so the second option here is missing packages. Okay, so you ordered the 100 units, and you're supposed to get 10 packages, and each package is supposed to be 10 units, for example, but you only receive 9 packages. And you see that the tracking, the 10th package never really shipped, or it did ship, but it never got delivered, got stuck somewhere, disappeared, whatever. You're eligible to get a refund or reimbursement from Amazon. It's under Amazon responsibility to make sure that all your inventory that you order to remove gets to you. Same way like a consumer or customer, they buy, Amazon has to make sure they fulfill the order and they get the TV or PlayStation or whatever they bought, right? That's kind of the idea, the logic. Okay, and the third one is wrong item back. You shipped, just to make it simple, right? You sent Amazon an iPhone to sell on Amazon, but instead of the iPhone, when you actually did an FBA removal order, you got back a baseball. So Amazon calls it switcheroo. If you find out this happened to you and you open a case with Amazon, tell them, Amazon, this is a switcheroo case or a case of switcheroo. They know that things got switched. I sent Amazon this iPhone, and instead of this iPhone, I got back this cup. Something got switched here. It's just called switcheroo. You're definitely eligible to get a reimbursement for that. All right, so here's the fourth option here. Missing parts. Ooh, right? So we have removed a gaming console from FBA. Basically, let's say, just to make a simple example, you shipped in a PlayStation or an Xbox, right? So when you removed it from Amazon, when you actually got the products back, right? So you got the box of the Xbox or the PlayStation or, the gaming console. So there's the box. The remotes are inside. Even the cables are inside, but guess what's missing? What's missing? Lisa,
the actual console.
The actual console, the actual product. You get all the peripherals, all the stuff around it, but the actual product, boom. So if that happens, you're definitely eligible to get refunded for that as well. So these are examples of how things can go wrong with your removal orders. To find out about all of that stuff, you're gonna have to take action. It's pretty straightforward. There's no like special reporting. You just have to track and monitor everything that's going on. Your 3PL, your service provider, whoever it is. So keep that in mind. These are opportunities to get refunded. Okay, and you should be able to go back up to 18 months and all the returns you got back from Amazon. All right, let's go to the next slide.
All right, for these, we're going to go over how to remove your unfulfilled inventory. And this is a pretty quick and easy two-step process, you guys. So you're going to log into your Seller Central account and under settings, go down to the fulfillment by Amazon from that drop-down menu, and then very easily edit any of these 4 settings for your unfulfillable. So you can either enable or disable your automated unfulfillable settings. You can choose how you want the value recovery option. So reimbursement, if you want reimbursement grade or resell, pre-selected, not enrolled. So
I think it's a refurbishment. Just to clarify, I think it's a refurbishment. Sorry, yeah, we're so used to reimbursement, it comes like second nature. It's all good. But yeah, in this case, refurbishment means kind of that if they can kind of they ship it out for you, they'll do it. You give them the authority to do it. Typically, that happens more with maybe electronics, gadgets, stuff like that, but not typical for every type of category. But go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And then for return or dispose, you guys can select whether you want it returned or disposed, obviously. And then that schedule. I believe, what are the options here, Yoni? There's weekly, there's monthly, there's...
Whatever it is, just choose what you want. But yeah, I think so. I think it's weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But whatever is comfortable for you, your warehouse, you choose. It's fine.
Gotcha. But you guys are able to go in and edit each of these different settings to essentially align with what your preference is for your unfulfillable inventory. And that is it for the overview on how to file all of the different claim types. Yoni, let's go ahead and get into the case study.
All right. So we have a $5 million case study. We have this beautiful blue area. Where's the blue area? There's the blue area, right? And then we also have, unfortunately, the red area. Okay, so the blue area means money is coming into your account. The red area is money coming out of your account. And you see that thick area which says Amazon fees? It's kind of hiding something. It's hiding the fact that, if you go to the right, that area, 77,000 A area, you see that the Amazon fees equate to 77,000. But if you take the A all the way up to the box over there, you'll see that FBA fees type A are 43,000 out of the 770,000. And the FBA fees type A are the fulfillment fees or the pick and pack fees, which means every time you sell a unit, Amazon picks the unit from the bin, they package it in a box, they ship it out, they charge a fee for that. They call it pick and pack fee or fulfillment fee. Depends who you ask with Amazon. As you can see, it carries a lot of weight. It's the king of all fees with FBA. So 43,000 out of 219,000, that's almost 20% that you're paying in fees just to fulfill the orders. You see that? So let's move on to the next page and do a quick summary here to learn something. You see that, fees type A are 19.7%, and then fees type B, it's 0.2%. And then don't forget, you're also paying 15% Amazon selling fees. You put all these together, you'll see that 35% of all the sales revenue are in Amazon fees, which are burning through the margin. Okay, so if you're selling $5 million a year, you're paying 35%. It's a $750,000 in annual fees just from FBA. So it's very, very, very important that you watching this and FBA sellers are aware of the weight that FBA fees have on your business, and you should know your numbers and do whatever you can do to lower those types of fees. We'll give you a simple strategy very, very soon. I want to also not depress anybody, but if you look in this notice area over there, you see that don't forget, PPC adds more and more costs to selling on Amazon. And that's a whole universe, a whole world of how to reduce PPC, A costs, ROAS, all that beautiful stuff. That's where you should be focusing, and you are focusing, and it's great. I'm now taking you to the other side of the universe where there's costs involved with selling an FBA, and there's way to recognize the cost and optimize it and reduce it. Okay, same thing you're kind of trying to do with PPC and advertising. I'm taking you to the other side that you probably never thought about. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so now that you're aware that there's all these cost structures involved with selling on Amazon, you have all the FBA side, and you have all the PPC side. Just make sure that do whatever you can do on the FBA side to reduce the weight and dimensions of your product, especially if you're a private label seller and you create the products. Make sure you create products with as small and light packaging as possible. You don't have to create big packaging or very heavy packaging like you need to do with retail, with regular stores. You put your products on the shelf, they need to kind of be pushing out the other products. And the packaging actually helps you to sell, because when you look at the packaging on the store, you want to touch it, you want to put it in the cart, and you want to buy it. So packaging actually helps you to sell. So it's okay if you have bigger and heavier packaging. But with selling on Amazon, especially on FBA, you don't need all that. You have your listing. The listing is the way you communicate to the consumers, about the product, and then they'll add it to the cart and they'll buy you. And when they get the product, they're ready to use it. You don't need to wow them and give them a big, bulky product. So make it small, humble, because it's going to save you a fortune on fees with Amazon FBA. And by the way, also a fortune on fees with regular carriers. Okay, so do whatever you can do to reduce the weight and dimensions of your product. And it's going to save you a fortune because we showed you with this case study the impact of all these fees. And so if you reduce them, you're king. You're going to be winning for many, many years. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's move on to the next slides here. There we go. Okay, so here we're prepared for you guys a package of free tools. I think Lisa will expand on this one. Go ahead, Lisa.
So we've got 2 awesome free tools here for you guys. The first one's going to be the ebook, How to Read an Amazon Income Statement. Everything that comes from Amazon is in, their own language, if you will, kind of like how lawyers have legalese. Amazon has Amazonian. So you guys can visit getida.com/ebook or scan this QR code to download that tool. And then the second item that we have for you guys is a profit and loss tracking spreadsheet. So like we've kind of tried to explain here, what's important in your business is less so the revenue, it's the profit, right? We're all in business to make money. And so if at the end of the day, you're, I think Yoni had made the point before of you speak with sellers that show some of them don't really have a good idea of what they're actually making at the end of the year. They might know how many units they sold, but what does that actually equate to in their pocket at the end of the day? So
everybody knows the revenue. I would say that over 50%, probably even more, but just to be safe side, over the 50% of the sellers have no real idea how much you're making a profit. So this shit ends now. If you take this tool, just use it, throw all the costs of your business in there, you'll know if you're making money and exactly how much, or hopefully not if you're losing money.
But this is a very good plug and play tool for you guys. So definitely take advantage of both of them. So to kind of wrap things up and put a bow on it, so auditing, kind of the rules of the game. We've outlined this, especially point 2 throughout this presentation, but just to recap. So with FBA, anywhere between 1% to 3% of a seller's annual inventory and revenue will be impacted by a discrepancy. So anywhere between 1% to 3%. Once you figure out what you're doing on Amazon, 1% to 3% of that, you guys could potentially get reimbursed back to you and increase that profit. Number 2 is you have up to 18 months to get most of your reimbursements filed with Amazon. So get those claims filed for those discrepancies like we covered before. Weights and dimensions timeline's a little bit different. Inbound is a little bit different, but the majority you have up to 18 months. So don't miss out because eventually they will expire and then that money is left on the table. And then the third, obviously, is that sellers need to reply to cases when Amazon is asking them for more documentation. If they need a proof of purchase or a proof of delivery, get that to them as soon as possible so that you don't miss out on these claim reimbursement timelines so that you're able to get back that 1% to 3%. All right. Everything kind of moves forwards and backwards with this. And I know that what we covered today is a lot. There's a lot of reports to file. There's a lot of time. It's a tedious process. And we didn't even cover everything. These are all of the different types of auditing claim types that are available to be filed with Amazon for reimbursement. It's overwhelming. And if you guys need a little bit of help with that, Getida can absolutely help you guys out. So we have experience in all of these different audits and claims types. And then I think what we'll do now, Yoni, I'll hand this one over to you, just talking about the difference between Getida and maybe doing it yourself or some of the other service providers.
Got it. So just to kind of recap on Getida and the dynamics of how we help and maybe other options that are available in the market, which are all great. No bad decisions here. Just we want to make sure you understand the difference between each option. So Getida, we are a solution. As a solution, we use technology and a dedicated team to create the solution. And the solution is maximum refunds. Okay, we make sure to actually work on the cases and get you the refunds. So you see in the top spot over there, the first dot, you'll see it's highly specialized service. That's what we are. We're like a brain surgeon. This is all we focus on. This is all we know how to do. We don't know how to do any other things. Okay, we don't have any other solutions. We don't have repricing. We don't have PPC. We're hardcore, highly specialized service just for solving this issue of FBA refunds. We have Amazonia is processing reimbursement claims. Okay, so a big part of our team are former Amazon employees who used to work in those departments. So we carry a lot of experience within our ranks. Okay, other tools and stuff like that, it's for them just an add-on. There may be developers, stuff like that. It's all good, but it's not as experienced, I would say. And then we process over 30 kinds of reimbursement types. Okay, other tools might cover 1 or 2, maybe 3 kind of issues, but you still have to take care of the other 20 plus issues. Right, so keep that in mind. Some sellers don't realize that. They think, hey, I'm using this tool, so I'm covered. You're covered for 2 out of 30. You still have to take care of the 28. So for us, it's everything. You know that if you touch us, if you kind of partner with us, boom, you get full coverage. That's kind of the main idea there. And also we conduct daily audits every single day that goes by. We check the account and we take actions. Okay. And other services, they might check on your account first of all, you have to do the work. It could be that you need to do the work. You just get the data and you have to do the work. So you have to pay for your employees or yourself. You pay yourself, right? So you spend your time in doing it. Or others will just charge you a subscription. They might, every month. They'll tell you if they work or not, you still pay a subscription. For us, nothing like that. We only get paid if we get you money. So, and we do it daily. So it's a little confusing, but just to keep it simple, it's free to join with us. We only get paid if we're successful. Other options might charge you to use their tool. So if you work it or use it or not, up to you. Or they might do the work for you, but they still charge you only a subscription. But you don't know how often they actually work or not. And even if they didn't work, you still have to pay. So it's a little confusing on their side. We provide international coverage. Okay, so if we operate in North America, US, Canada, Mexico, we got you covered. But also if you operate in UK or EU, okay, some other tools are limited to maybe just one country. Okay, we're an authorized solution provider by Amazon. We're available in the Amazon App Store and the Amazon Seller Central Partner Network. Okay, so we have a commitment to you, the seller, but also a commitment to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant. Data security, private policy, we need to perform on the highest level. With other providers, they might not be authorized. So maybe you should rethink if you want to give access to your data to somebody that is not bonded by any kind of standards. And lastly, like I said earlier, we're a solution. We take care of the whole situation. Others are just a tool. They're just, I always compare this to, us being a dentist, and other tools are being like toothbrushes. Toothbrushes are good. You should be brushing your teeth. But you probably, when you have a real issue, you go to a dentist to get full solution for your issue with your teeth. If it's tooth extraction, root canal, new teeth, whatever it is, shining, we got it covered. So we put the robe and we get to work. So this is kind of a quick understanding about, Getida full management solutions and other options that are available on the marketplace. Once again, they're all good, but now you know the difference. You're a bit more educated because I get all these questions all the time. So this is not going to go live. This is a recording. So this is almost like an FAQ. All right, so guys, now here we have another case study for you to make sure that you understand and see the positive impacts of getting all your refunds. Because this presentation is a guide on how to get all the refunds, or most of them, I would say, not all, to be honest. But let's say if you get most of them, look what can happen to your business. Look what happened to this business. It sold $18 million. That's a yearly revenue. You see up there. And then they sold 300,000 units. Right. And then out of these units, about close to 9,000 units got affected. All the inventory got lost, damaged, destroyed, disposed, refund issues, all the fees issues. Okay. And they got back $151,000 in refunds. And see, that helped to increase the profit by almost 11%. Because before Getida, the profit was 1.3 million. Right. You see over there that 1.3 million. Then we added 151,000 and boom, look what happened. 10.92. Right. The profit jumped to 1.5 million, but the actual percentage jumped into almost 11%. So this is the first layer of impact. Great, positive impact. Now there's two more layers. Let's go to the left side over there. If you're selling your Amazon business, you're selling your profit, and you're getting a multiple for that profit. So if you're able to add $151,000 to your profit, and you get, let's say, a 5x for your business, that's $750,000 you're getting extra on the way out when you're making an exit. That's the second layer of impact, positive impact. And the third layer is if you're buying an Amazon business. So whoever sold the business to you failed to grab all the refunds that they're eligible to get, and they got back 151,000. Boom. It's a really good return on investment, ROI for them. So this is the sophistication behind, refunds and reimbursement. This is how typically it feels and looks like. And if you want to ever sell your Amazon business, or you want to understand what works for your Amazon business, I recommend consulting a specialist. So you can always reach out to Nordbank Group. You can just scan this QR barcode or just visit getida.com/MBG. And these guys are really good in deconstructing your business and making you understand what's really working for your business and what's not really working for your business. So if you focus on what's really working, you're going to have an amazing business for many, many, many years. And that's always good. And because of that, if you ever want to sell it, a lot of people will be willing to buy it. So I do recommend consulting a specialist. So let's move on to the next slide. And here we did prepare a $400 offer for you guys. You can just visit getida.com/click, KLIK. And the first $400 that we're going to get for you in FBA refunds is going to be free. We're not going to charge you anything. So that's a guarantee. You're going to have $400 extra in your pocket. After $400, if you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. Whatever we want to do, it's fine with us. But yeah, so let's move on to the next slide. That's it. So, we're here to help. If you have any further questions, feel free to, email us. But just to recap, we touched the main kind of points of FBA auditing and reimbursements. We gave you guys the know-how, how to hopefully take action and get those refunds. So you got to make money. Stop everything after you're watching this and go to work. Hopefully you make some money. And if you did, great. And if you want to make even more money, especially $400, if you want us to help you with all the rest of the stuff, feel free to do so. You have an offer available to you. So that's it. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much. Lisa, Lisette, back to you ladies.
All right, thank you so much both. Very useful presentation from your side. And I wanted to highlight two things. So all of yours contact information and website links are in the description below the video. And also, if anybody has any questions later watching the video, you can also leave comments, because we will definitely ask Lisa or Yoni to come back to the video and answer those questions as well. So yeah, thank you again for joining me, and we wish good luck in your business.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for watching this video, and I hope it will help you to get your money back from Amazon without any problems. If you want to reach out to Getida to take care of your Amazon FBA reimbursements, find the link below together with a special offer, which is a $400 free reimbursements. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to hit subscribe and like buttons for more actionable content. And now I suggest you to watch other video where Yoni and Lisa explain the recent changes on Amazon FBA fulfillment fees.